Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And guys, the market today is being pretty neutral. However, a couple of metaverse coins and a couple of really solid platformers like AVAX and actually Crypto.com are doing extremely well. Now, for AVAX, as I've already told you guys a couple of times, I do believe it'll pretty quickly hit $60 billion in market cap, and so I've definitely allocated a good portion of money to it. For Crypto.com, these guys keep making partnership after partnership after partnership that's so insane, we have to talk about it today. So there's an article coming on what's going on with that. And if you look a little bit further, IOTA is also doing amazing, and as I've said, a couple of metaverse projects that we have already covered in an earlier video. Sandbox, for example, has some news as well, which we're also going to be covering throughout this video. All right. Let's first cover the XRP Extreme Cup and Handle, as I think most people are going to be interested in the XRP price. Yes, guys, I still, as of this point, have my XRP and my Bitcoin trades open over on Bybit. I'm not really giving up anytime soon, as I honestly believe it is always a good idea to buy XRP at $1.07. And a little fun fact, guys, if you were following the DustWC strategy for a little while, which once more, it's not finished advice, and you bought at XRP at $1.07 every single time, well, you can kind of see here, every single time we got into that area, it popped right back up. With maybe not too crazy of the gains, but with 10 times leverage, that is still juicy. And we got some pretty good returns every single time. So it still works. I'm still not deviating from that tactic. And hopefully you guys made some juicy profit. However, that's all besides the point. We are looking for a bigger, better, and crazier trade for XRP right now. And by the way, make sure you press that like button and comment down below, guys. Are you still holding your XRP? I noticed many people have given up. I haven't. I still hold it. I'm going to hold it to the bitter freaking end. Are you guys still holding too? And your like matters. Every single person pressing it gets my seal of approval. All right. I'll give you a little fist bump once I see you. All right, my brothers and sisters and everything else. Now, world's largest cup and handle. What a cup and handle does, right, long story short, is it basically shows you a continuation pattern where we go down in a cup formation, then a handle formation, and then we break out with the minimum price target, debatable, but a minimum price target being the height from the line, basically the neckline, the standard line, the cup line, whatever you want to call this one, to the bottom of the cup. And from that perspective, it's a pretty high percentage that we got right there, because it basically goes from about 30 cents per XRP all the way to about $1.60. And so that percentual shift, which is about, let's say, 500% or so, should be replicated from the neckline of forward, or the coffee line, whatever you want to call this one, which should go, I mean, it's $1.60 plus like 500% or so, or going times 5, going times 5 basically, going times 6, something along those lines, which is going to be interesting. Now, do I see this happening? Personally, yes. I do think it's quite logical that we are going to be seeing a breakout of that proportion. Not exactly sure if it's going to respect this exact pattern, but we all know that XRP at one point or another just has to break out. There's almost no way about it anymore. And I personally believe the moment that it does, it is going to be lacking after a couple of other altcoins have already risen. But the gains will be very severe, as even right now, again, in this bull run, XRP is lacking behind a little bit. But I think eventually, like it always does, it'll pick back up the pace, and the gains are about to be crazy. It's also some wishful thinking though, guys, as we have just been holding XRP for so freaking long. But the project is doing amazing. And I also noticed quite a lot of people who said down below they want more updates on these XRPL airdrops. Guys, over on this channel, what I'm really focusing on right now is making sure that the entire community that watches my channel is going to be a millionaire. And of course, I cannot guarantee this, nor do I think everybody will make it there, but I can surely try. And so all you got to do to basically get yourself updates whenever something crazy and amazing comes out is subscribe to the channel, and make sure you press that like button for the continued support, because it just helps out. You might also want to join the Telegram, because I post some updates in there every here and then. We're growing really quickly with like a couple hundred people a day, so make sure you join there as well, because a lot of people say it's a really, really fun group and they enjoyed joining. So having said that, once more, make sure you check that out. And more updates on the XRP Ledger airdrops are coming out, as I still saw a couple of questions. And there's also a tutorial today coming out for how I'm buying these coins, like the Velas pad, the Valhalla one. I'm making a tutorial today for either Lovelace or MetaV pad, two coins that I think are going to do extremely well over the next couple of weeks. I'm thinking again of 500 times gains on our money. So make sure you also subscribe for that and check back on the channel a little bit later today as that is still coming out. All right, then here's Ripple's plan for US regulators to stop a crypto brain drain. And this mostly revolves around Ripple's new opinion that some guys should basically leave themselves out of crypto and it should be handed over to the CFTC for a good part. So the current uncertainty in the US regulatory landscape discourages innovation and could cause a brain drain in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space. In order to incentivize innovation and inform the development of a clear and consistent regulatory framework for crypto, we believe innovation sandboxes should be encouraged. And so they're basically standing on the same line as Hester Peirce, as far as I know right now, of giving a little bit of a sandbox where you're going to try some stuff, we're going to see some stuff, and eventually they're going to have to make a choice on this safe harbor, which, by the way, is basically a project can have 2-3 years to develop themselves, and if they become properly decentralized and are not in a security status anymore, they're fine. And if they end up still being a security, quote unquote, after so long, then they're not fine, so to speak. In fact, just days before Ripple's proposal, former CFTC Commissioner Brian Quintenz criticized Gensler's Wild West comparison and said, it ignores the fact that the CFTC has anti-fraud and anti-manipulation authority over that space, and if it's truly rife with those activities, we have a federal regulator that can be used its enforcement powers to address those things, which once more is the SEC is doing their best right now to keep things down, where in the end of the day, they're saying it's for safety, but nobody really believes that. Then Metaverse, the next big thing after mobile internet. I just want to also make sure you guys understand, right now, a very good part of my portfolio is going towards Metaverse, as I honestly believe it is the best opportunity in cryptocurrencies right now. It's almost a certain bet that this is going to keep growing on. And the gains haven't been too severe as the coins are not that high in the ranking. But I do think some Metaverse coins will eventually be top 10. And so I am preparing for that right now, as I do see the 10x gains still happening within a couple of months for a lot of Metaverse coins. I'm just quickly preparing you guys for the crazy gains which are about to happen. And a little bit earlier in my stream, I showed you guys a little bit of me playing a Metaverse game, the Decentraland one, as it's pretty funny that you can actually really already operate with it like that. It's so crazy to think about. Then guys, some major news over on Vechain. Vechain upgrades to Proof of Authority 2.0 consensus algorithm. So of course this is a very big deal for Vechain. We haven't really seen it reflect in the price too much because it was already announced and already kind of going through. The latest consensus mechanism upgrade is expected to improve several aspects of the network security and key operations while making it even more environmentally friendly. Now, on November 16th, Vechain reached a milestone in its 6-year history by upgrading its Vechain Thor mainnet to the first phase of Proof of Authority 2.0 service consensus algorithm. Vechain is a supply chain tracking system that launched a couple years ago and combines physical tracking with blockchain record keeping. POA and Proof of Stake differ from Proof of Work in that they do not require mining to reach network consensus, and POA achieves consensus by verifying users' identities, while POS does this by staking coins in the network. Now, they run only 101 nodes, however, they're pretty damn juicy because it uses less energy. And it's an upgrade, so everybody's amazingly happy with that. It aims to improve scalability, security, and throughput on the Vechain Thor mainnet, so this is a very nice update that everybody was happy for. You can also read more on how they did it, but I don't think the majority of people care about how. It's about the fact that they did it and we're making progress. Then the Binance CEO just revealed the coins that he has. A lot of you might be interested in this. Well, a little bit of a shock to some people. He only has 2 coins. Not a shock to me though. I thought it could be that he has potentially one more coin, but I already was 99% sure that he only held 2 coins, which are Bitcoin and BNB. Bitcoin because he bought it a little while ago, a couple years ago, 2014, kind of stuck with it. And BNB, of course, because their native token from Binance, which I also think will do well, by the way. He says, however, that he will give away 90, 95, or even 99% of his wealth eventually. You guys must imagine, CZ, the Binance CEO, he might literally be one, if not the richest person on earth as of this point, actually. If we're looking at the valuation of Binance, right, I'm not sure exactly what it is because they're not taking in more equity. But it could honestly be that this company right now is worth so much money that Binance's CZ, for example, is worth $500 billion, for example. It wouldn't be too crazy if Binance is going to be the first $5 trillion company, for example, to actually stand up there, because of just how big it is. In crypto, with the growth that's coming up here, the valuation of Binance is really hard to say, hard to measure. But it could be that they're going to be the biggest of the biggest not too long from now. It's making some real steps towards it, guys, of Binance being bigger than any other company we've ever seen, because of how many subsidiaries they have and because of how much money the space is basically making and how much Binance can participate in all of that. It's not like a normal eToro. It's not like a normal exchange. These guys have a monopoly on the entire cryptocurrency space. Right now, it's only a couple $1 trillion worth, yes. But if the space is a couple $1 trillion worth, which will eventually go times, let's say, 100, I still honestly believe it will go times 200, but okay, then that definitely means that this company will also have some crazy gains to come. And if it's already worth, let's say Binance is worth $400 billion right now, which wouldn't be too crazy, right? I'm not sure what the valuation has officially been. If crypto grows times 200 in a little while, a couple years, well, we can already see for Binance. But let's say it just grows times 10 over the next 2 years. Well, you can already guess it might become the #1 biggest company in the world, making CZ potentially one of the richest people. He's already one of the richest, but then really, really one of the richest people on earth. It's going pretty fast, if you ask me. Having said that, Sandbox, pretty big upgrade for them. I've already covered it on my live stream. They do really, really amazing right now. So what's going on with Sandbox as it currently stands is there's a Metaverse Alpha that launches November 29th after 4 years in development. So we talked about this over on Cointelegraph here. It basically says only a handful of lucky players will enjoy the full experience, so it's not definitely going to be easy. But it said the Sandbox is opening up part of its metaverse to players for the first time via a multi-week play-to-earn alpha event. And I just tried to check everything out regarding Sandbox, and I'm not exactly sure how to actually get yourself the things just quite yet, as I haven't read this tweet, which we found out during the stream that exists. I will check it out, though, over on Discord, potentially for myself, to see how you can actually enter, because I'm guessing it's just kind of like random or so, but I'm not exactly sure how you would actually get yourself in. It just says there'll be NFT passes and whatnot given out, but how exactly? It says raffled to landowners. That is it, huh? There we go. Over 4,000 remaining alpha passes can be won by anyone participating in a set of activities every day. So that's, I guess, also pretty damn nice. It's quite a lot of passes. But to buy a plot of land in sand is pretty damn expensive. So you got to be lucky with just getting one of those sand drops. By the way, guys, sand is one of my favorite projects in the metaverse realm right now. And so I'm pretty excited for it. It's pretty high up in the rankings as well. Having said that, here's the news for Crypto.com. Oh boy, is this big news. So Lakers Staples Center to be renamed Crypto.com Arena in $700 million deal. These guys are not messing around. And it's so crazy how much they're doing. I mean, Crypto.com used to be called Monaco Coin, I believe. Back then, they were already on a certain pace. But right now, if you look at the partnerships they've gotten, them and FTX, it is so insane how heavy they're going on the marketing. But it works. It just works. It just works. We can see it back in the price, but we can also see it in the hype and the amount of people knowing it. Crypto.com focusing on their card is also such a small ordeal because it's literally just everywhere. You cannot deny it any longer. You cannot deny how Crypto.com is just growing piece by piece, and I can really honestly understand why their crypto is doing so good as well. It just makes a lot of sense why their crypto does well. We can see here that there's another one, Crypto.com, $700 million sponsorship deal with Lakers in coming of age for the sector, says GlobalData. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's also just legitimizing the space, that they have so much money to spend, but more importantly, that it's now becoming a normal thing, an arena named after Crypto.com. They're taking it to the real bigger heights, and I see this as a really good thing for crypto. We have sponsorships in the NBA, the UFC, Formula 1, NFL. We're seeing it everywhere right now, guys. Crypto is expanding. There's almost no way right now that people that watch sports or gaming not know about crypto. It's almost impossible. Then KuCoin. And once more, guys, this is another push for people to get more into these little KuCoin. I don't want to say cool. Okay, never mind. It's called KCC, the coin for this one. Let's put it like that. The KuCoin. That's such a interesting, because KuCoin is the exchange. KuCoin coin. I guess KuCoin token. Huh. How do you say that easily? KuCoin, whatever. So the KuCoin one, the Crypto.com one, the Binance one, the FTT one from FTX. I literally just buy most of them, even the BITRUE one, just getting into them and holding them, because I know as long as these exchanges keep getting more popular and keep onboarding more. I mean, the KCC is a fork from Ethereum, if I'm not mistaken. I believe so. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but I believe so. You have the Binance Smart Chain, obviously. You have Polygon, but that's not from an exchange that I'm thinking of as derivatives. But let's say the KCC and the Binance one, they're both so simple to use and just better. I think they'll keep growing. However, let's not digress. KuCoin launches, let me quickly see here, let me put in the timestamp. KuCoin launches a $100 million fund and joins the metaverse race. More companies are getting involved in building the metaverse. The latest large brand to jump on board is the cryptocurrency exchange KuCoin. So, yeah, very nice. $100 million fund to focus on supporting teams wanting to develop metaverse projects. Very nice. Dubbed the KuCoin Metaverse Fund, it'll also incubate protocols from GameFi, NFTs, decentralized infrastructure, and more. Just moving towards the very nice direction, going really, really well, and I'm happy to be able to see it because, well, I like KuCoin a little bit. There's a link down below, so it's short. I'm not even partnered with KuCoin, so I don't get any money if anybody joins or anything like that, but I do have a link down below for maybe eventually, because KuCoin is a pretty nice platform, and I do enjoy how they operate because they list coins so frequently and so quickly. All right, then new Shiba whale bought 171 billion tokens. That, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty huge. So you can never say that Shiba is dead. You can never say there's no appeal because Shiba Inu always has this lingering Robinhood listing that can make the price just go absolutely berserk. And I think that's also why people right now are still this excited about Shiba Inu. The lingering threat of just the price going insane and just going skyrocket exponential mode. Right now, the price has already gone down about 50% from the all-time high a little while ago, but where will it go next? Nobody can really say, nobody can really know. All I know is I'm still holding a couple of my coins, and I'm hoping for the best. And let me know in the comments section down below who's holding XR Doge or Floki Inu or Saitama Inu. If you're holding any of those meme tokens, let me know in the comments section down below as well. Then, guys, we're moving towards the end with more of the tweets and whatnot. If you still enjoyed these videos, make sure you press that like button just to help out the channel. Let's quickly check this out. Despite Charles Gasparino being unbiased and giving Clayton the benefit of the doubt, Clayton has refused to speak to Gasparino and Eleanor Tourette regarding his decision to file the most significant enforcement action in recent history versus Ripple and XRP as he walked out the door. So, meeting with Doug Peterson, President CEO, meeting with Apollo, meeting with all these guys, council, phone call with Steve Mnuchin, a meeting with staff, meeting with commission, meeting with staff. Instead, Clayton chose to go on air with Andrew Sorskin, Becky Quick, and Joe Squawk. Andrew offered up a ball question and asked Clayton if he wanted to address the serious conflicts of interest and gross appearances of impropriety that have alleged against him. Clayton stated he would not comment on the Ripple case regarding the conflicts of interest related to his employers. Clayton incredibly said, I don't know these companies while I was in the government. I was introduced to them after I exited. I encourage everyone to review the clip from CNBC in order to witness the look on Andrew, Becky, and Joe's faces, along with the awkward silence. These three respected journalists offered no follow-up questioning. Maybe all three of them were dumbfounded considering they all knew he was lying. Because, I mean, we have seen that multiple different times. Because Clayton was appointed to Apollo Group board after the... But according to Clayton, he was not introduced to any of his new employers until after he left the SEC. Clayton must have forgot about his long meeting on October 23rd, 2017, which is, let's see here, meeting with Apollo Global Management in 2017, so he did know the company. Managing Director of Credit, Chief Legal Officer, and General Counsel. Maybe Clayton refuses to speak with Gasparino because he might ask a question. As we get it right now, to summarize real quick, this guy, Jay Clayton, he was the head of the SEC when Ripple was sued about the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit, right? Now, he went on to a show, and they basically asked him about the conflicts of interest, about whether or not there was a bias for him to make certain decisions. And he said, how could that be when I didn't even know the company before? When John Deaton here, rightfully so, puts up that he did know the company and literally met with all those top guys a couple of years prior. So, yeah, that's kind of funny to kind of catch him on the spot like that. And I think the journalists didn't reply because they were like, what in the world is this guy trying to say right now? Like, what is this? How can you attempt that when we literally know because we have your schedule? Like, what in the world are you attempting right now? So maybe they were just dumbfounded, which could be. While Bitcoin went from nearly 65,000 all the way down to about 58 in the past 24 hours, Marathon Digital Holdings decided to offer $500 million in debt to buy more Bitcoin and mining rigs. NLW explores why Marathon may be unfazed by the volatility. And on my days, it's crazy that these guys just keep buying more and more and more and more and go more and more into debt. But that's what a lot of these guys say. You know, the printer, which we're going to talk about in just a second. The printer keeps going on, keeps going on. We should also create more debt because that creates ultimately more value, more money. So it's like a way off that we're seeing over in the Bitcoin space right now, where a lot of companies are creating some massive debt to buy more Bitcoin because ultimately there's more and more dollars coming into the space. And so they need to use those dollars, which are becoming less and less valuable, to buy real things that are valuable, like Bitcoin. That's their thought process. And I do kind of respect that. Then to come back on Ripple real quick, this is Forbes on Ripple. Let me quickly see if I can put in the timestamp. There we go. So Forbes said Ripple Labs, which is locked in a bitter court battle with the SEC, has an unsurprising recommendation from Washington policymakers: limit the regulators' role in policing crypto. And that's, of course, what we've seen earlier, but I want to quickly summarize once more. Ripple's stance is just make sure the SEC doesn't interfere this much because it's in nobody's best interest. And even the bigger guys over in the commission of the SEC, but even the CFTC and whatnot, and senators, and everybody just knows that, yet they still are. So change it up and listen to the people. You know, why be so shrewd when at the end of the day it benefits almost nobody except for maybe some SEC members? And last but not least, printer broken? Little fun tweet I just saw. Insider Paper posted, breaking news: Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen estimates that the U.S. government will run out of money on December 15th. Ooh, interesting, huh? Interesting. I don't want to go too far into that one because it's a whole different story for today. But guys, what's coming out later today? So what we have coming up on the channel really soon is a video on either Lovelace or MetaVPAT, some coins which I think will do 100x gains in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to make a tutorial for how to get into that. Because a lot of you guys have been requesting that, so make sure you subscribe for that. But also, you guys wanted more tutorials on how to get into every XRP airdrop, XP Ledger airdrop. If you guys want that, make sure you press that like button and subscribe to the channel as well. If you guys have any other thing which you'd like to see, for example, a video on what other airdrops there are, so not only XP Ledger, let me know, or some top list of certain altcoins. I've done many of those, but right now the altcoins that I've bought, I literally made a video on earlier today, but it's not really, you know, the audience doesn't really like it too much. So please let me know in the comment section what type of video you'd like to see, and I'll definitely get to it. But the news, I made sure, guys, there's going to be a news video every single day at least, so I can always make sure that you guys, you know, are getting the content that you came here for and subscribe for. If there's any recommendation, please let me know in the comment section or in Telegram, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.